I'm Sarah Ray. I'm one of the directors of the Atheist community of Polk County. So we're going to talk just briefly about a few of the programs that we've launched since COVID-19 that are addressing food insecurity in our county. I'm going to talk about a coalition program that we launched, and then other directors and volunteers of the Atheist community of Polk County are going to tell you about a backpack program that serves students who are experiencing food insecurity, particularly on the weekends. And you'll hear from directors and volunteers of a project called Street Warriors that is out serving hot meals to folks who are unsheltered. So I'm going to tell you about a program we launched called It Takes a Village. It Takes a Village is a coalition organization that we formed with the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Lakeland, Red Tent, Rose Dynasty Foundation, and several other local organizations. We were getting lots of calls from people in the community who were social workers. People were really suffering from food insecurity. They lost their jobs. They didn't have transportation to get to a traditional food pantry. Even in areas where mobile food pantries were being brought in, they were still not always accessible to everyone for one reason or another. And so we set out to create something completely new and different. We have recipients from all over the county. We're the 5th largest county in the state of Florida. 3 times a week, we have to go to a local, but not nearby Walmart to pick up food that's being donated to us and bring it back to the Unitarian Universalist building where we house the food pantry. And so we didn't want people coming to us because of COVID-19. We don't want to, have an unsafe environment. We want to limit risk and exposure as much as possible. So we have a limited number of volunteers who are working at the UU, receiving the food, sorting it, packing it, getting the parcels ready. And then we created delivery routes. Then every week, volunteers come to the UU, pick up their parcels, and then they take that food out, deliver it to the recipient. It's no contact. So they pull up, they set the box on the doorstep, maybe give a quick knock, and then leave. So many of these programs, not only are they the faith-based ones, many of them require you to pray before you get your food or attend a Bible study or whatever, which we don't do. They also, we found that a lot of food pantries will only give you 1 box of food a month. And so when you go to the food pantry, they want to see your driver's license and take your information and your social security and all of this stuff, so that they can make sure that you're not double dipping. And we said, if we've got the food and people are hungry, give it to them. We're not asking for your tax records. We're assume good intent, right? We have people come to us all the time that say, this was my experience at another food pantry. And so we're learning from that and trying to be not that. We're trying to help as many people as we can with as little gatekeeping as possible. The most fulfilling thing for us is we'll have people that write back, who call us and say, hey, you can stop delivering food to us now. We're in a better place. It's been a great way to get engaged in our local community and make a good name for the atheist community of Polk County and for atheists in general. Okay, enough about the village. Now let's talk to some of our other wonderful directors and volunteers about other programs that we're running here in Polk County to address the needs of our citizens.
Our backpack program serves 25 students at Caldwell Elementary, and they get 2 meals. They get breakfast, 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, 2 dinners, and some snacks. A big shout out to Rainbow, who helps us every single week.
We do a can of pasta, some soup, some ramen noodles, some applesauce, some oatmeal, a loaf of bread, and some peanut butter. And I know that's, in a pinch, that's a couple of meals.
We have really nice people who on Friday, Mr. Phil and Elizabeth, who are of the Christian variety. They come and pick up on Friday and deliver the meals to the kids.
Yeah, those that are willing to work with us, we clamor onto them. Those are our dogs.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. Liz and Phil are trapped forever.
Oh, they're we got them for life.
The number of students in our public school, in this county school district, who go home after school on Friday and then do not have another meal until breakfast at school on Monday, which thankfully our district provides. The number of kids in that, and families in that situation, is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's gut-wrenching.
Yeah, it is.
Their kids might only get a hot meal at school, and the rest of the time, they have to, juggle bills and groceries and all of that with, whatever funds that they're working with, and it's hard. We've been the recipients of such kindness before, and I know what a difference it makes just to have, even if it just is a few extra snacks.
I'll retell the story that Linda tells very briefly, and I'll probably miss a detail or two, but she talks about how there was a student who got caught by a school nutritionist stuffing packets of ketchup into their pockets, and when confronted, said, if I don't take these home, my little brother, sister, whatever, isn't going to have anything to eat.
I know. I think of that story often.
Yeah.
That's absolutely horrible. And as a parent, not being able to provide a meal for your kids, that's
gotta feel awful.
Oh my God, yes. I couldn't even imagine. Like, it's my Italian genetics to feed everybody. So I'm like, if my kid says they're hungry, I'm like, okay, what do you want? Like, I got stuff. But as a parent, if your child says they're hungry and you have nothing to give them, I mean, that would just be horrible. I couldn't even imagine. I have Miss Bolts, who is a teacher there, and she's also my friend. She told me that she has seen the benefit of the kids getting their meals for the weekend.
Seeing the looks, not necessarily on the kids' faces, but on the parents' faces when they see their kids come out with that little bag of food, you know that it's making a difference. To be able to give back to a program that's helped us before, I feel like it's not only my pleasure, but my responsibility also to be a part of that. I think it's a really worthwhile thing, because if you can't feed the children, who are you going to help?
So Street Warriors actually is a faith-based initiative that we partnered with. They've been at it for like 7 years now, but they cook a hot meal for the homeless once a week and distribute it to them in their downtown area. And they were very gracious and willing to work with us and let us open up a chapter of our own, 2 chapters actually.
We get a lot of positive feedback. We go to downtown Winter Haven and hand out to people that are experiencing homelessness. And then we'll also go to some group homes that they're just, they're kind of
people on the verge of homelessness.
Yeah.
Right.
There's thousands of homeless people in Polk County, but it's quite a lot of people considering the population in our fairly rural county.
So many people look down at on the homeless, and they call them drug addicts. And even if you're a drug addict, you have intrinsic worth, and you deserve to eat. Nobody is disposable.
Especially with the people who are on the verge of homelessness, I feel that giving them a meal each week might be the thing that pays their rent in the group home or the low rent motel, that month.
Why are there people hungry in this country? It's inexcusable. I mean, there's a lot inexcusable about what's going on here, but especially food. I mean, people need food and shelter. So when I saw an opportunity, I wanted to do that. That was something that I could do, and recognized that there is more of a need than ever before.
I love being a part of this community, and I didn't realize how much I missed this, I guess, when I was in church and doing volunteer stuff that way. And then when I left, you just we didn't have the atheist group for quite a long time. And it's
awesome.
It is awesome.
Obviously, there are people in need. I'm aware that there are people in need, and I can't walk by, turn my back, and pretend that these people don't have needs. But at the same time, my participation is selfish too. It feels good. It makes me happy. I feel like $1 million when I walk away on Sunday afternoon and I know that there are 12 people, and it's a tiny group, but there are 12 people that just ate that may not have eaten otherwise. That feels great. So yeah, it's selfish too.
I am so grateful for this group. I am so grateful for this group. It makes me want to cry. I'm so proud of this group. I'm so glad to be involved with it. I love the fact that we give. I get so pleased and tickled when I see posts about what we're doing, because what we're doing is so important and people are so important.